Evening, everybody. Icy here. Well, we just heard on the news that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats shot down the impeachment discussion, I guess you could say, in regards to Alejandro Mayorkas. They're saying that there was no crime committed. So I'm going to bring this up to you, and you tell me if it's a crime or not. Alejandro Mayorkas is the guy in charge of Homeland Security. He is on video being interviewed right after Biden got into office, talking about how Biden got rid of dozens of various articles and orders in regards to securing the border. And he said Biden just destroyed them all, got rid of them, canceled them all, So that means that Biden intentionally wanted the border open. Mayorkas is going to fulfill that obligation to Biden. Now, the monkey wrench in all this is Kamala Harris was put in charge of the border, and she's not doing anything except avoiding it. So, like I said, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats shot down the impeachment and removal of Mayorkas, saying that there was no crime committed. So here's the crime: aiding and abetting criminals in the murder of U.S. citizens, the beatings of U.S. citizens, the rapes of U.S. citizens, and the illegal confiscation of personal property in regards to homeowners by squatters, who are all illegal aliens. Now, we're talking at last, they said, close to 20 million came across since Biden took office. So that's 20 million suspected murderers, 20 million suspected rapists, 20 million suspected criminals that beat people up. We've already had that young lady that was beaten, raped, and murdered not too long ago. And we have others that were also beaten. There's a massive number of rapes being reported by these illegals, not to mention beatings. That is all criminal activity. And if, according to my understanding, if you condone it when you know that it's your responsibility to prevent it, that makes you an accomplice. That makes you liable for the actions of the people that you allowed into the country illegally. Aiding and abetting. You are aiding criminals in the commission of these criminal acts, which is a felony. So, why hasn't Mayorkas actually been formally charged with aiding and abetting on these crimes? Nobody wants to, bring up the fact that they're ignoring U.S. written law in regards to the border. I mean, it's in writing, and they openly ignore it. If you, the average citizen, were to ignore the law, you'd be sitting in jail. If I were to ignore the law, I'd be sitting in jail. Politicians ignore the law. It's just a policy difference. It's not a big deal. This is where the problem is. We have to hold these elected representatives and these appointed representatives accountable for their actions. You have to hold their feet to the fire. First off, you're going to need term limits on all the politicians, because, good example, Chuck Schumer, he's been in for almost 40 years, over 40 years? He graduates from law school, never actually does anything. He goes right into politics, and he's been sucking on the welfare rolls of, the citizens ever since. And he's never lost an election because New York State is 90% Democrats, so they're going to keep voting for him. I know you're getting tired of hearing about it, and so am I. And I'm tired of talking about it too. It's like I sound like a broken record in regards to this. But nevertheless, We need to get people to start pressing charges against these people for breaking the law. Now, I would recommend contact your congressman, contact your senator, except for me, mine's Chuck Schumer, so I'm screwed. And tell them to press formal charges against Mayorkas, not impeachment, criminal charges against Mayorkas, aiding and abetting in the rapes and murders of American citizens. It's time to stop playing games, because if we don't stop this crap now, as you can see what's going on, we're going to lose our country. Everything that I am seeing now is what I've observed in countries that were swinging towards communism and who eventually became communist. The people got into political power positions. They started sweeping the laws under the rugs. They started targeting citizens. They started spying upon citizens. They started holding you, the citizen, accountable for other people's actions, and you had to cater to their demands. Otherwise, they made your life a living hell. So this is what the U.S. is currently looking at. Me, I'm old. I'm going to die soon. I can't stop it. You, the people that hopefully listen to my voice, will do the research yourself and see if what I'm saying is true. I'm not telling you it's stone cold. I'm telling you, do your own research. That way you know it's you making the decision. You're not just listening to me. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to tell you, what's right and what's wrong. I'm just an old bastard voicing his opinion. So, do your own research, see what's happening. But to be perfectly honest, in my opinion, when you allow 20 million people in, and the other thing I forgot to mention, these 20 million will be counted on the census, because the Democrats removed a part of the census that stated you had to be a citizen to be counted on the census. They removed that feature, so now everyone's counted on the census, and congressional seating and redistricting is apportioned based upon population size. That means 20 million Democrat voters. Just changed the whole landscape of the House of Representatives, because they're all going to say Democrat, and that's the sad part. ICY out.